Now this cast is going to tell us something right here. All right, crappie number 1. So here it is, January, middle of January. Just caught the first one of the day, not a big one. We happen to be on a point here where there's a school and there's a little bit of brush down there. So we're gonna find out how many of them are willing to bite. Earlier in the year, yeah, you'll catch them in schools and groups, but now they're really getting in big groups. So now I'm more excited about them because I want to catch my limit right here on one spot sometimes. Sometimes in the wintertime, you'll find these schools of fish and they'll stay there and they're more consistent. They'll be there for, 4 or 5 days. So once you find a school and you get that first bite, they're a schooling fish and sometimes they turn off. And so you don't want to waste a lot of time once you catch that first one. Get back in there and hit them while they're in a good mood. Oh, one of those should bite it though. There he is. Maybe we should start putting these guys in the live well. That's a better one. They're awesome. In the wintertime is my favorite time to catch them. I'm putting them in the live well. So one thing about when you find a school of fish like this, you don't want to be too close to them. These fish, if a school is like say 20 to 30 feet deep, you can get right over top of them and vertical fish them. But this particular school is not that deep. I want to make sure I'm at a distance that I'm close enough to where I can easily cast to them, but not so close that I spook the school. So the school that we've got right here, I'm going to make a cast to where I'm going to be well within them, because if you make a cast and you're just on this side of them, a lot of times they won't bite. Look, I can cast, I can see my bait. There's one coming up out of the school to inspect it. A lot of times the fish that you're going to catch are the ones that are going to come up and at the top of the school and eat. Now on the bad days, then you got to get lower and lower. Boy, I'm surprised they didn't bite it right there. There he is. Got him. Oh, looks like another nice crappie. So I switched up jig heads. I wanted something a little bit heavier. This is a 3/32. At times we're having a lot of wind blowing today, and that 3/32 is going to, help get me down there a little bit faster to them. Let me show you my setup real quick for these crappie. This is a 2-inch Berkeley tube, green and pearl, 3/32 ounce jig head, 4-pound test, Berkeley XL. It's a 6'9" light action Fenwick rod, Elite Tech, and good old President spinning reel from Fluger. Well, this rod is just a very lightweight rod. It's very sensitive. It's got some length to where it can make a long cast. This is a great combination. So we've got a joke here in the Ozarks where it doesn't matter what color jig you've got as long as you've got a crappie nibble on it. And I like the chartreuse crappie nibbles. What I do with these is I put them on the hook and it creates a little scent trail. When the crappie get close to your bait, they're going to smell that scent and they're more likely to bite it. And so all you gotta do, they're soft, you put it on the hook like so. Some people leave it right on the hook as a little bit of a weed guard. I usually put it right there, right at the bend of the hook. So a lot of times when I'm looking for spots where I'm gonna be catching a lot of crappie in the wintertime, I'm gonna be closer to the main lake. Main lake docks are great places. Now we happen to be on a secondary point, but the main lake's not too far away from here. And there's some brush piles here. Obviously we're seeing them with the live scope. We're casting the schools of them, and there's a big school of them down there. They tend to get in bigger schools this time of year than any other time of year. So these fish, they are about 10 feet to 20 feet down. And sometimes they can be over deeper water, but they usually aren't themselves more than like 25 or 30. They might be hanging above that, just suspended. These fish are brush pile fish, so usually your brush pile fish are a little bit more apt to feed. Almost never am I going down 30 or 40 feet to catch crappie. It's always gonna be like, 5 to 20. There's a crappie. So as you can see, we've sat here for a little while now. We're continuing to catch them, but they've slowed down. They're not as hot as when we first pulled up. And I've just gone a little bit deeper, and I started doing a combination of going slow and going fast. Sometimes you can even change up your colors, and sometimes that'll fire them up again. There's another one. This is my favorite time. The schools are some of the biggest schools you'll find all year. It's just like one after another after another. Every cast you make, sometimes it's just hard to beat. That is fun right there.